Hey, welcome to your Sales Insight for today. I'm Paul Martinelli. In the sales process, your job is right from the beginning is to step into that originator role. In every relationship, there is a dynamic that is established. Somebody has the authority in the relationship and somebody plays the role of the subject. The person who has authority is in the originator role. They're the ones that are originating the ideas and the questions. The subject in that dynamic relationship is playing the part of the listener and the person who's giving the feedback. So again, sales is a dynamic relationship and you have to establish yourself as the authority. You can do this several ways. I'm going to give you a kind of 10 do's and don'ts. Number one is don't over ingratiate yourself. Don't thank you so much for taking all the time to meet with me. You're so important. Your time is important too. So hold rapport. You're glad that they've met with you, but you also have something to offer here. So they should be glad that you're making time for them. Don't fall into the trap of commonality. Don't go off to Pluto with shared experiences and likes and dislikes. You see that, there's a picture of them in front of the Colosseum in Rome and you say, oh, you went to Rome, I went to Rome. Or you see that they have a dog and you have a dog. And the next thing you know, you're talking about Rome and dogs. And more importantly, you're not talking about their dog, you're talking about your dog. Whenever we go into commonality, we break rapport because we're no longer talking about what the main issue is, and we're no longer talking about them. We begin to talk about ourselves. Number three, use high value words. Words have value. Use the expensive one. Look at what your product is. Look at your industry. Look at the different features and benefits and make sure that the words you use and the language patterns you use are high value words to describe what the prospect can expect. Number four, don't be casual in any setting. Always dress and behave one level above what's expected. So in your first meeting, you're there in a suit and tie, and then they've asked for a proposal, and it's a Friday afternoon, and you kind of casually run by their office on your way to the gym. No. Every single time, you've got to play the part, and you've got to look the part. You've got to maintain rapport. Number five is ask meaningful questions. Don't waste time asking questions that you should have known the answer to before by doing your homework. Don't ask how long they've been in business. Don't ask, when did they move to the second location? You should know that. And the fact that you know that, you should bring that up in your intelligence gathering. You should make the statement that you do know. Jim, I know that you moved to the second location back in April. I wanted to ask, how has the move gone? Jim, I know that you guys have been in business now for 15 years and you're one of the leaders. I saw that you guys had won 2 awards last year. See, when you ask questions that you should have known the answer to, you waste their time. And when you do homework and you state the facts that you've gathered, you come across as a true pro. Number 6, let them know that you've done your homework, right? Jim, I know that you all just expanded your services into the Southeast. What have you found to be the most challenging thing? Or Mary, I know that you just landed the Microsoft account. How has your team performed during the onboarding? Let them know that you're in the know about what they're doing, that they matter, that they're important to you. Number 7, don't let them go to Pluto. It's bad enough when we go off to Pluto through commonality, but don't let your prospect ramble. So if you find that Jim or Mary, your prospect, are beginning to ramble, as they finish their sentence, you very elegantly interrupt and say, Jim, let me ask you this question, and then bring them right back on point with the question that forces them to stay in the lane of what you're talking about. Number 8, don't information dump. You're not there to be, the answers to a Google search. Every single word that you say when you're in front of a client has to fight for its life because it's taking time to say it. And the only reason you would ever share a data point or is to advance them in certainty. So don't ever just share advice or data points just to share it. Only if it's going to advance them in their certainty of you, your product, or your organization. Number 9, in every single meeting with them, before you start, you define the reason for the engagement. You define the commitment objective. This is so critically important because what they're saying in their mind, what they're wondering is, how long is this going to take? Where's this meeting go? Why are we meeting here today? So don't assume that they know. You want to sit down with them and say, the reason for the meeting, the reason for the call, the reason for our time together is, and state the commitment objective. Number 10, don't overstay your welcome. When they are sending you the signal that they're done, you've got to pull the ripcord and exit. Don't overstay your welcome. When you find that Jim or Mary is beginning to kind of fade away from you, that is your sign to go immediately to the close of the meeting, reestablish the next step, whatever that next commitment objective is, and then to elegantly move yourself out of that engagement. Remember, experience is your best teacher. So apply these 10 do's and don'ts to your calls today, and you will see that you will have more command of the dynamic relationship that you're engaged with. I'll see you tomorrow.